Okay. Okay. Sorry. Sorry about the cough. Hopefully now you can hear me. And have been rambling in the void. Ah, I hear a lumberjack lady. Yes, that would be me. Hey guys. All right, so I'll do it again. I was saying hi to everyone. So, hi Carolyn, hi Veronica, hi Lab Accident, hi Salome, hi Jen, hi Dan. I was saying long time no see, Dan. And yeah, Do you also have a nice photo of Scout you could also display? You mean in the like the loading, the intro, the, I don't know how to say it, the cover, the sort of standby image I use. There you go. Hey, Sarah. Hello. Yes, I have a weekend to myself, so can. Oh, that's awesome. Do you usually work on the weekend? My Sundays are always like all over the place, so I always miss all the Sunday streams. Same with Friday. I know that Lee streams on Friday, and then there's Dan and Cyan on Sunday. But yeah, it's always like I'm always running around. If you sound great for having had a cold, I have kind of a rougher voices than usual, maybe. And also, I kind of cough really gross, so I'll try to mute the mic when I have to cough. Like right now. Okay. No, normally the half is around, so we usually do things. Oh! Hey, box of paint! Hi! Yeah, I'm feeling better. Like, it's still not completely 100% back, as you can hear. But, yeah, most of the worst part of it, I think, is through. Like, the really annoying part was all sinus related. I hate sinuses. I don't know who decided to put like air pockets in our faces, but no. Bad design. Bad design. It hurts so bad when they get like all clogged up and Oh, I can make a little swatch card. Oh yeah! That's really a coaster for you. Dinosaurs. I finally got my Saturdays off again. I'm making myself use my Magello paints because I struggle with them, and all in purple. Ooh. That paint box looks familiar. Okay, so this is the Lucas little paint box, but it looks exactly like the Aquafine one. I think they use the same like plastic boxes, but the paints in them are not the same, and also the selection is different. Can I open it again? Okay. So the Lucas set, in my opinion, has a much better color selection than the Aquafine set does. And I mean, you know, I love the Aquafine colors, so that's not really the issue here. What's more problematic with the Aquafine one is that it doesn't have a really nice magenta, and the two blues are really similar. And the Lucas set has a magenta, and the blues are more different. So I bought the down paints. I'll find a way to work with them. I have a hard time using purples too. Yeah. Which set did you get of Magello? I apologize for any sniffing that happens too. The palette is really small and handy, but the Aquafine had V-shaped cakes, which I thought was cheeky as I dug them out. Oh, really? What? Oh, that's really cheeky. I don't know if I don't think I can really pull these off, but it's the same model of pan, like with the notches in them. Though, I mean, good job, Lucas, having the color's name and pigment info printed directly on the pans. Well, I can support that. Do I have a... Okay, that was a bad idea. Ouch. Ouch. Ah. That was stupid. I've had the main 15 ml 34 sets and the big sets of pure pigments for a while. They're just so smooth, I find them tricky to work with. The pure pigment set might be a bit easier to use. It has a few... Possibly it has a few cobalt colors in there. Have a bit more texture. They were flat on the bottom, but there was an angle. Yeah, I think... What's in the cup? Coffee. I also have a matcha latte and ice water. Have all the drinks with me. Oh no! Okay, that had the opposite effect that I wanted. It snapped open the pan itself rather than... Alright, so I'm not gonna fight with it. Just too bad. But yeah, the pans are kind of really thin-walled, so they didn't really enjoy me trying to remove. A loaf of bread shaped. Oh, I see! So the angle was steeper than the edges of the pan. Like a chopped up pyramid. Question for everyone, can you dry down gum arabic the same as tube paint? Well, you know, gum arabic is technically sold as like a big gum crystal. Or muffins without the top. But the top is the best part! I saw this set now comes with 48 half pans. Oh, I'd be curious to see what's the 48 colors in the Lucas set. Sounds tasty. I've been drinking lots of cold brew tea. Oh yeah, we also do the cold brew. My matcha latte is actually like cold, and this is lukewarm. But yeah. I love the cerulean in the pure pigment set. I made a palette of mostly Mugello paints with the Sodalite, purple umber, and something else I did for texture. I think I tossed the pyramid about it. Yeah, they have like a green or turquoise cobalt that is really, really pretty too. Oh, I need tissues. Be right back. Okay. Oh, it's really hot here today. Whew. Bleh. Okay, sorry about that. Another thing that is neat about this palette is that there's a way to like hold the brush in place so it doesn't move around in this travel palette, which I thought was really clever. But yeah, I don't have a swatch card for this one, so it's not super handy when you want to use a set for painting to not know what colors are in it. It's supposed to be 99 here on Tuesday, and our first bleh. That's way too hot. 99, how much is that in Celsius? So yeah, this set from Lucas has a cyan and a magenta. So I think that if both the Aquafine set and this one are available, I think this one is the best choice. Almost 40C. Ugh, no. Ew. Ah. Oh, I would be miserable. I would have to stay inside where there's AC if I was in Texas. Hi, Dominic, by the way. Oh, wow, that's opaque. Wow. And that's a Payne's green, not a black, which I appreciate. All right, hold on. Okay, sorry. It still freaks me out that my cats love the heat so much, but I think next week we'll push that. Yeah. Cats are a bit silly in biology-wise when it comes to heat. They don't really sweat except from their like toe pads and maybe the ears and like the nose. So they don't sweat per se, and they have a really high tolerance for heat, and they also don't like to drink often. So it's just like stupid creature from the desert. The bluish gray is really pretty. It is, right? Payne's gray. I was expecting this set to come with a black, but if it's a Payne's gray, that's even better. And also, I like the second green, which is kind of a muted, more natural color. Doesn't seem to have a burnt sienna, but it has this really opaque sort of Venetian red. Oh wait, hold on. I was like, I don't have the colors, but it's printed on the pans like a badass. This is English red. Now that it's all wet, so I'm gonna end up with paint on my fingers. What else is new? So what is this one? Oh, yeah, I checked it earlier. That's Payne's gray. Raw umber, okay. Kind of a really intense raw umber. Raw umber is really often a weak color. Bear is very cuddly when we are melting into puddles, and Emmy has a spot she roasts. Oh my gosh. Cats! I will not be going out. Oh my gosh, no. Oh, 105. Eek. Ugh. It's like I'm too fat for this kind of weather. Ugh. Yeah, that's the issue. When these are going to be dry, I think I will write the name of the colors on this little swatch sheet thing. It even celebrated here. Ugh. Glad we can have a heat wave all together despite being miles and miles away. Hi, Yuri! Oh, I could do without the heat wave, but you know. Hey, Tsukaboo, hi! Oh no, migraines. Oh no. Alright. So, just make sure I don't have any more paint. My fingers are all dry and velcro-y again. It's just so annoying. They're so rough. Alright. So I have this little book here. That's photos of European alleyways, I guess. It's really interesting photos. Sorry. Oh, I really love that book. It's nice. Photos of happy things. I found a castle nearby and the gardens are free. Oh! So tomorrow morning I'm going plein air painting there. Oh, that sounds awesome. Emmy has learned to guilt trip my hubs. Oh no. When I go to bed, I ask if they want to go to the AC and she refuses. Then it sits outside the door looking defeated when he opens it. Oh, I love cats. My place's folder is full of alleys like this. Yeah, definitely. Cahier Toledo. I love the walls being like this reddish color here. Oh no, hold on. Sorry. My mom is going to Hawaii this fall, and I asked her to take lots of painterly pics for me, since this year I'm not healthy enough to travel at all. Also asked her to bring home some volcanic rocks. Ooh. That's a really interesting tea. I love cocoa nibs or shells in tea. It's really delicious. It's like it really tastes like chocolate, but it's not like heavy like a hot chocolate could be. But it's a super nice rich taste. Oh, Cuba, of course. Yeah, okay. It's supposed to be themed after the lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. Turkish delight and cocoa. Wow. Also, they have Shetland ponies. Oh my gosh. Oh no, Yuri! Oh, what a mess! My favorite herbal tea is mostly coconut nib and salted caramel. Ooh, that's fancy. Coconut nibs is so good though. Hey, Lindsay, hi. Oh, that's the cheat version. The real stuff contains no gelatin or agar. So wait, is this supposed to be a hard candy? Because what makes it like soft if it's only sugar and rose water? Is it like boiled to a caramel level? What's happening? Contains sugar, cornstarch, and cream of tartar. Oh. Oh. I might like that. Like the gummy kind of puts me off. Mix all together and cook over low heat for like an hour. I made it once years ago. It was quite tricky. Yeah, it sounds tricky. Anything that requires heating up sugar, you can sort of go too far or not far enough, and it really changes the consistency. I think Dan says it has rose water, so it tastes like rose water. There are definitely good and bad texture gambles when it comes to Turkish Delight. The one that really puts me off Turkish Delight is the candy bar, which is Turkish Delight, like the gummy kind covered in cheap chocolate, and I'm just like, sounds miserable. Oh, pistachio must be so good. What is it's orange? It's orange blossom flavoring, right? The candy bar is so not for me. I'm really not. I don't do mixing like a gummy thing with chocolatey things. So when they have like gummy bears dipped in chocolate, that just short circuits my brain. It's just no separate stuff. Don't put the gummy stuff with the chocolatey stuff. That's just so weird. If you want something chewy in your chocolate, you can have nougat, caramel, all sorts of toffee, peanut butter, any kind of nut butter. Just not gummy candy. Okay, that's just not good, not kosher. My mom used to make little Christmas cookie shaped like little balls with the fluffy powder. Oh, those are delicious. It's really soft and squidgy in the worst way, seriously. Gummy plus chocolate. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Ugh. Gummy chocolate is evil. Hey, Erica, hi. Real Turkish Delight isn't gummy, it's similar to mochi. Oh, interesting. Nougat is a gift of God herself. I used to be obsessed with it as a kid and tried to convince my friends to eat it. Well, I mean, either they ate it and they're good people, or they did not, and that meant more nougat for you. Switching drinks. Here's the pint of matcha. Oh, it's a fresh bag of matcha, so it's like bright green. It tastes like seaweed. I tried to take Scottish tablet home to my mom so many times and we always ate it before we got back. You need to buy like an amount that you cannot possibly eat before leaving. That way maybe you'll be able to bring one home. The only time I like gummy chocolate is when it's banana flavored bears dipped in chocolate. It's gotta be banana, otherwise I don't want gummies. Yeah, I mean, I trust your word on it, but if it wasn't for your word on it, I would be really doubtful. It meant more nougat for me usually. Oh no. Well, I mean, awesome for you. If likes drinking, yeah, especially a matcha latte. Num 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 num. Now I just want a bucket of gummies, seriously. Though I'm bummed. I've looked at the assorted gummies that I have at the corner store here, and none of them have the like psychedelic gummy bears that you've shown me. They have like just the same kind of psychedelic pattern, but just like bumps. We spent over £100 on tablet for Christmas and I ate it all. I had to replace the gift. I cannot resist it. Oh my gosh. Though if it's exactly like what white fudge, I totally get it. If it's like the traditional recipe here in Quebec is called sucre à la crème. And oh my gosh, I can absolutely understand going through that stuff. It's hard to eat a lot in one sitting, so I don't know how you can pull that off. But oh, it's like the perfect texture. That's like on the scale of all the great textures of food, that kind of fudgy texture, it's my favorite. I love it so much. I got some sugar-free gummies when I was in Texas and they were salty. Yet bears are a new thing. Yeah, the bears are really cute. I've only seen the bumps. The bumps are so bland. I'm like, can you not put that in an interesting mold or something? Oh, I need to edit my playlist. Oh, that's just disgusting. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Come on, you just played. You gotta be somewhere in there. Yeah. Hey. Sorry. Hold on. Okay. Scottish tablet is minty. Oh no. No. I'll stick to sucre à la crème if it's minty. Yeah. Is it minty though? Because Otto cannot have mint, and I think she can eat Scottish tablet. So maybe it's just a specific sort of Otto knows some good places for naughty food, seriously. Gingerbread flavored tablet, oh my gosh. Was the Christmas disaster year, but it was perfectly spiced. That sounds amazing. Reminds me of the time that I a long time ago, when I accidentally made vegan like sucre à la crème, like white fudge, but usually it's made with brown sugar, like cream, and a bit of butter, I think. But I think you can make it with just the cream and the brown sugar, and the whole deal is that you have to boil it to a specific stage. And when you reach that stage, you whip it and then you pour it down, and there you go, fudge. But I can't have dairy, and it was like at that time when I couldn't have dairy. So what I did is I've never seen it since then, but I had chai flavored soy milk. So I used brown sugar, the chai flavored soy milk, and a bit of margarine, and did the whole like boiling the sugar to the proper level and the whipping and the pouring thing, and it was like chai flavored like white fudge, and it was so freaking good. And that was like 10 years ago. So you can get minty and not minty kinds. Okay. The shop brand stuff is thin and minty, and the homemade stuff is thicker and buttery. It's definitely something I have to try out when I eventually go to the UK or Scotland, right? What am I doing? The studies are so hard to do. I'm so bad at them. Like, it takes me forever to get them going, and I forget everything about like image composition and vanishing points and horizon lines and whatnot. Scratch that, I'm getting confused between tablet and candle mint cake. Oh, okay. I mean, if I ever go to the UK and I have to bring offerings, I will see about bringing some, though I think I could probably send you some bags of pain. Like the sucre à la crème from Quebec. The maple fudge is a bit harder to come by, but I know there's a brand of quite nice like sucre à la crème, but it's packaged in a way that might travel better. The maple fudge, I kind of have to make it myself, and that will not travel nicely, especially not in the summer. Similar texture, that's why both are gritty. Puts in. What? I'd like to give offerings to myself. Oh, that's always fun. I took Kindle Mint to my sister and she was like, it's peppermint sugar. So I think only Jen might be able to follow up with this, but I'm listening to the band we mentioned the other day. And it's an experience. They're so stupid. Does anyone here have an opinion of the Saunders Waterford cold press paper? I think isn't that Otto's favorite paper? perfect grad bound and granulates one afternoon. Yeah, it's kind of a... It's its own mood, right? It's hilarious, though. I didn't believe the mint cakes were energy bars and made so much fun of my hubs about it. Over here, Arches is cheaper than Saunders Waterford. Does anyone know why paper blocks are so expensive? I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. Now, if it was a couple of bucks more, like, okay, fine, but it's like 2-3 times the prices of a pad in the same size with the same paper in it. Why is the block so much more expensive? So, thinking of Jen, when you buy watercolor paper, you can either buy it in a pad, which is often glued like only on the top. So you have like your sheets like this, but instead of wire bound, it's just glue, and you can easily remove the pages. But you can also have watercolor blocks. So it's a bit like the same idea. It's glued, but it's glued on all 4 sides usually, and they leave like a gap in the glue so that you can peel off the paper. And the advantage of that is that the paper will not move as you paint on it, because sometimes it warps. You know, you had water, so the paper moves around a bit. But if it's a block, it's glued on all 4 sides, so it cannot move. It just doesn't have that freedom. But also, they will sell a block for like $50 when the pad of the same size is like $20. And I don't get it. The only justification I can think is the glue adhesive, but it's the same glue they use for the pads. That's the part that... Isn't it? It's even, like, it's thinner glue even. I don't... You can make it with a hot glue stick. I found that the few blocks I've tried, the glued sides doesn't help with buckling. Really? Oh, that's interesting. Oh my god. What? Oh my god, watercolor stuff is magical. Except for your wallet. Watercolor stuff is great, but not for your wallet. The one I can spell, Hanamula, gets a huge dome in the middle. Oh no. It's just so annoying. And also, I agree, if you want to paint on more than one piece at a time, either you need multiple blocks, which, okay, fine. Or another thing, if you want to transfer a drawing onto a piece of paper and all you have is blocks, you have to peel up the page from the block. So it's just... Anyway. I buy slightly thicker paper and cut some cardboard to wrap around and clip with bulldog clip. Yeah, that kind of works too. Hanamula? Hanamula? Oh my gosh. Hold on. Oh, that was everything. Blow my nose, cough, sneeze, sniff. Hey, Paulo! Hello! That paper... my honey mule paper is a lot like some Buckingford that I got. It's very velvety to touch, but unlike the Buckingford, you can't keep it flat. Oh, that's interesting. It's really interesting to hear about everyone's paper preferences. It's all the way over here. Ken Bromley cut up full sheet. I love their packages so much. If I was in the UK, I think that's everything I would buy. That's the only thing I would buy, I mean. I when I ordered the paper stretcher at the same time, I got a bundle of cut sheets of 90-pound paper, so the thinner one, because I figured if I'm putting it in the stretcher, having 130-pound, like having thicker paper is only gonna be annoying and harder to fit into the stretcher. And even if it's the thin paper, the whole idea of the paper stretcher is to keep it flat. So who cares? And oh my gosh, if I could get like quarter sheets of 140-pound arches this way, that's absolutely all I would buy. Full sheets are really annoying to get because I don't have the space to cut them up easily. It's a whole ordeal to cut up those huge sheets of paper. But a quarter imperial sheet, that's 11 by 15. That's manageable. And they have arches, which is the paper I like to use. I think I'm the, the only person who likes arches. Not in the world, but in this little community. Yeah, like you say, Baxapaint, the imperial sheets, 11 by 15, that's huge. Like the kind of bigger I paint usually is half that, so their bundle, you get so many paintings out of this bundle of excellent paper. In my opinion, of course. I think they offer it with different papers, but I remember getting the arches. Oh, full sheets of paper, all sheets of paper, unless you get cellulose. Like, if you get cotton watercolor paper in full imperial sheets, it's always expensive and it keeps climbing. It used to be like, between $5 and $7 per sheet. Now it's between 7 and 10. If you get the extra thick one, like the 600 GSM one, it's at least $20 per sheet. It's kind of pricey. I think Iraville has a tutorial in her book for a homemade paper stretcher. I can check that up. Is your book near me or is it in the other room? gosh, no. I don't think I have it here. Just finished the painting today, done on a half sheet. Ooh, that's big. Anyone been hoarding the PR206 paint? I try not to. My whole idea regarding the colors that go missing, the only color I might have stocked up is manganese blue, because it's like my favorite hue of cyan, and it's just gone, which sucks. Ah, wind, come on, come in, come in, wind, come in. But otherwise, hold on. So I try to not hoard the colors that disappear, because first of all, there aren't that many colors that I need to be able to work. I can work from just about any palette, and if those colors are leaving, sooner or later I'll have to deal without them. So why not get to it straight up? So that's the mindset that I try really hard to have regarding the colors that go out of the ones that are discontinued forever, basically. Charlotte, you prefer arches too? Yay! Yay! Arches! Ou arche, if you want to say it in technically in French. Oh. Oh! Hold on. Alright, sorry. The only color I hoarded was Anthraquinone Red. That's the PR168, yeah. That's the one I have a few extra tubes of, because it's quite a unique red, and I really like it. Making of manganese blue is very toxic. Hey, Katarina, hi! I know it's toxic, I just wish they would, I don't know how, but figure out a way to maybe better reproduce the characteristics of that paint. Like, make a dupe a bit better in a way. Because it's such a bummer. Like, I understand, but it still bums me out. It was such a pretty color, such a unique, granulating, bright cyan. I am hoarding PR206 because I use it pretty regularly when doing character portraits. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people use it for skin tones in a mix. I know, but I can never grab restock of Dan's beautiful manganese blue. I still have the one pan I have. I hold it like it's precious. It's beautiful. But yeah. Have you tried Yinmin blue? I have. It's really beautiful. But it's not affordable. All right. So what I try to remember when I do studies is to make the study work and not necessarily have it be exactly like the reference, which is super duper hard. Because when I feel like I focus too much on the reference and all the details, I feel like it gives me an image that is sort of flat and dead. So I try to make it more processed where I look at the reference and it's like I give notes to my brain, like stuff like, oh, there's a door in the middle and 2 windows on each side, a bit higher up. Like, I try to process the information before drawing it back instead of just, you know, transferring. Because when I try to just transfer, it's a mess and it's not good. I'm not saying that it's any better when I try to process it, but that's what I'm trying to do. Hey, Cyan, hi! Yeah, Veronica, I have some of that Da Vinci color. And it's nice, but I think it's because I'm spoiled since I've tried Dan's version of it, which is like super intense in color and very vibrant, and I feel like the Da Vinci version is a bit more flat, but I need to play with these colors again. Oh, have a good luck, Lindsay. Have a great weekend. It might be a while before my paints restock, so people might forget. Alright, maybe I'll be able to grab one in this case. So this pencil is really, really neat. I got it in the brain fart. Come on, Upcrate. Yeah, Upcrate subscription box, and it's the smallest lead I've ever seen in a pencil, and it's 0.2. And what I really like of these this range of mechanical pencil from Pentel is that the lead is protected. And even as you use it up and it shrinks, the sort of protection just retreats back in the pencil. So basically, it never breaks unless you click out too much lead. But if you're careful, you can use this super duper thin lead and it just doesn't break, which is mind-blowing. Yeah, the Daniel Smith manganese blue is a bit surreal. One more case of not disclosing what is in their paint. Seriously. Hey, Lena! That was the first Upcrate one that I got. The one with the acrylic gouache. Hold on. Sorry. Need to get some cadmium orange. Cadmium colors are really quite lovely. They're just so expensive. I was trying to find some info on the Daniel Smith website the other day. And I read something on there that really, like, it was kind of awful. it was on the in the description for yellow ochre, and they were basically polishing their own stick on it. Like, oh, our yellow ochre is so fine and beautiful, and it's the only one that's transparent, and blah 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 blah. And I was just like, so done with them, so absolutely done with them. And also in their resources page, they have a chart where it's a table, and they list color per temperature. So you have a column for the warmest colors, then the warm colors, then the cool colors, and then the coldest colors. And it just brought back like flashbacks of trying to sit in the live streams and having my brain like burn up. I'm done with Daniel Smith completely. The paints are beautiful. Not a comment on the paints themselves. It's the whole marketing around it, and the posturing, and the "our farts don't smell" attitude about it. Oh, sorry, did the wrong thing. They put so much fluff in their description. Yeah, seriously. It's out there. Like, I understand describing a color that you like with passion and love for the specific color, but what they do is different from that. It's just, oh, I don't know how to describe it. It's just evil. The other day I almost watched cheap joke videos. Oh, don't do that to yourself, Paulo. You're gonna hate it. I don't mind the paints, but the owner and the marketing really annoy me. Seriously. It's just like there's a limit to the amount of being made to feel like an idiot I'll take, you know? Snooty, they're snooty. Oh, right. That sounds like it made me feel real stupid reading their commentary on the paint. Let's see if passive aggression. Oh my gosh, seriously. Let's see if I can read a good one. Let's see if I can find the yellow ochre one. Daniel Smith. Yellow ochre. Yeah. That's it. That's the one that really pissed me off. Okay. Our yellow ochre works especially well with other transparent pigments. Try mixing transparent medium tinting yellow ochre with equally transparent medium tinting viridian. Somewhat neutral, yellow ochre reacts beautifully with cerulean blue when spattered into the damp paint. While traditionally yellow ochres tend to be opaque or whitened in other brands, our Daniel Smith yellow ochre is transparent, a property beloved by watercolorists. And this is the part where you rage quit. We need fancy ad music. Oh my gosh. It's the whole like while traditionally yellow ochres tend to be opaque or whitened in other brands. I'm like, F you. Dude, yellow ochre, one of the most easily available pigment out there. You can basically like just grab a handful of it and go home and mix it straight up with gum arabic, and you're gonna have a really gritty paint, but it's still gonna work out, you know. And I mean, it is an opaque pigment, so if you tell me yours is transparent, my first thought is, what did you do to it? How did you mess it up? Yes, at least they do have the whole, they are as old as Mother Earth to justify some of their roast. What, Daniel Smith? But I mean, like, freaking Winsor Newton is older than that. Oh, okay. At least Winsor Newton has the benefit of being one of the oldest brands to go with their flower. Yeah, that's fine. They're ancient. They can do that. By the way, that is good info. I was looking for a transparent yellow ochre. The transparent yellow ochre, I don't like them. They're really, really weak. And it's not supposed to be a weak color in a sense. Like, yellow ochre is a really intense color usually. So basically, theirs is transparent because they load it with less pigment. Oh, that's magic, Boxabite. It's supposed to be in your face pale mud. I just hate it. And all the shade thrown for no reason, as if they were the only freaking brand doing professional paints. I'm like, dude, that's not a cute look. You won't make friends this way. It's fun for mixing, but still catches me out when I want a muddy color. We want muted colors. I wanted to replace Naples yellow with something transparent for pale skin tone. Yeah, that's an interesting challenge. Though I'm pretty sure you could find colors that become the proper hue and transparent if you dilute them enough to get to the same kind of intensity of Naples yellow. Like colors that you don't feel would work because they're too like intense and rich, but the dilution you need will make them look better, if that makes sense. Hey, Firecloud, hi! Oh, M. Graham is great, and also I don't think they're snooty or preachy, and also their team is really, really, really fun. They're great people, they're super friendly, they're really nice to talk to, and last time I checked, they even had a cat in their staff, so extra points for that. Yeah, watered down, that's kind of the word I was looking for. What I love is when other brands do different versions of the same colors. And they're just like, oh, but ours is the best. Yeah, that just makes me really angry too. I don't know if I can find a good Primatech one. Just to make us even more angry. Which one was it? Amazonite. Amazonite is a classic nightmare. Come on. Load it. Load it. There you go. So, for the non-initiated, this is basically the color. So it's a kind of a tealy green color. No, I'm looking for transparent pigment, otherwise I can just... Yeah, that's the thing, but if you use, say, a transparent yellow iron oxide, that's transparent, and it looks kind of intense, but you can water it down to get to a color that is similar with Naples yellow. Does that make sense? Okay, so... Daniel Smith has acquired a unique supply of the precious mineral Amazonite from Brazil. It's unique indeed. It's a strong, pure color that is completely transparent. That's true. Non-staining, not quite true. And lifts easily. That's the same thing, though. Non-staining and lift easily, that's... whatever. For maximum versatility. Gorgeous by itself, Amazonite genuine is an especially beautiful mixer, with reds making gorgeous violets. Natural Amazonite genuine provides all the magic of the hills and forests of Brazil. This lovely teal shade of feldspar microcline, a precious mineral, was named for the Amazon River and was used in ancient times as war paint by fierce female warriors. In addition, legends state that when you wear a piece of Amazonite, you will harmonize your soul and be attuned to the spiritual dimension. Small carvings of Amazonite were tucked into a baby's bunting to soothe and pacify. A shared piece of this lovely teal mineral was believed to enhance and further unite the union of soulmates. Like, did they smoke or sniff the Amazonite before writing this? What? It is a really pretty color on its own, but why the whole, like, freaking piece on it? And this whole thing is how you spell the wet fart sound. Oh, definitely. Oh no, an accident. That's kind of sad, though. So I have to stick to my Amazonite watercolor to my hair. That might be the best way to use it, actually. Like, this is one of their most fluffy descriptions, and it's just surreal. Like, it never ends. You're like, okay, beautiful Brazil. Oh, what Amazonians? What babies? What soulmates? What magic? Ah! Enough! I just can't. That's just too much. It's painful. Fluffier than bunny butt. Definitely fluffier than a corgi's butt. Seriously. Oh, Amethyst one is another good one, you say. The only green I find hard to match from them is their fuchsite. You can, I think, Roman Schmal's malachite, or malachite, I don't know how you're supposed to say it. It's a similar hue, and it doesn't have the sparkle, but it's very similar to fuchsite. And it's a really pretty color. I swatched it recently. And I know it's not the perfect color, and it's weird and oxidizes, but it's really pretty, actually. It might not be exactly the same hue, though I think for fuchsite, if you don't need it transparent, you can mix, like, any kind of phthalo green or a mix of both mains of phthalo green and white, and you're gonna get there. But if you want a ready-made color, that's a bit more difficult. What color is it? Amethyst is dioxazine violet with sparkles in it. So, I think maybe a few people in chat are not familiar with this kerfuffle. It's basically this company with all the fancy descriptions. They have a line of product that they call Primatex. And according to them, these are colors made from precious or semi-precious stone. So they have colors like garnet, amazonite, amethyst, fuchsite, sodalite, like all like names of rocks. They have tiger's eye, jadeite, whatever. And people were already split between sort of two camps. People who really love and adore these colors, and people are a bit more skeptic because they feel like the way the color look and what they know of these pigments, it doesn't match up. And then in a couple of years ago, someone did a test where they put Amazonite under the microscope and found very little trace of actual Amazonite in it. So it started a whole like mini fight in the art world, whatever, where some people are like really annoyed that they are not transparent about what goes in the paints. And other people are like, we don't care, the paints are beautiful, we still like them. So that's why there's this idea that the amethyst is not actual amethyst. It's a slightly sparkly color, but it kind of looks like Dioxazine Violet and Mars Black on this, and yeah, it's just, you know, so there's this situation where some people are like, not a single of these colors, except perhaps the lapis lazuli, which looks like a real lapis lazuli. But yeah, so if you swatch these precious stone paints, they're beautiful, but they're sold at a premium. They're sold super expensive. Like they're the most expensive paints. Not all of them, but they really go really high in price. And I guess you can sort of justify paying a lot of money for these if it was actually what they say it is. But now there's this sort of doubt that's present in a lot of people's mind when it comes to buying these paints that does not justify paying like $30 for a single tube of color. So that's the thing. Oh, and yeah, the Mayan blue that comes from a mine. So the thing with Mayan blue is that it's a color that you sort of drip a kind of tincture. Paolo is gonna yell at me, but it's kind of a tincture or a liquid you make from indigo, and you let it drip onto clay, and the way it sort of works out makes the clay into kind of a blue pigment, and that's Mayan blue. It's a color the Mayan people would use, and you don't get it out of a mine. And in the description for Daniel Smith's Mayan blue, they say they mine it, and it just makes no sense. I'm absolutely fascinated. Yeah, it's probably plenty of stuff that you never thought might happen. It's interesting learning about art discourse in other communities. It's so different than what goes on in... Yeah, definitely. Though I think our community has a lot more Karens in it. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, you know what? The amethyst one is quite tame. Yeah, this one is not fluffy that much. Just says, oh my goodness, it's beautiful, exclaimed one of our testers, and it is. Amethyst genuine is a rich, true purple. It's almost black in mastone and capable of infinite gradation. Although it is a granulating color, it can also make lovely clear washes with just the barest hint of sparkle from the crushed gemstone. But the thing is if you actually crush amethyst to make a pigment, it doesn't look like that. It looks much weaker and might not even be purple at all. So that's just like nonsense. Volcano yellow is lovely, but it's not PI 122. It's 129. It's another one. It's I can't find it. Oh yeah, PY 159. That's it. I think it's because pigments matter more for watercolor as they can affect how the paint behaves, where oil paint and acrylic behaves the same. That's a good point. Comics have more big angry Karens about what writers are doing with what characters and who is copying who and what woman is failing at editing and blah blah blah. They turn about colors. I didn't know there were so many Karens in the comic discourse. I felt like it was full of dudes. But yeah, so basically the whole situation with Daniel Smith was made worse when the owner of the company refused to first of all give us more info about the paints, and also responded very condescendingly to the people who did the tests with the microscope. And they were like, oh, it's not like any kind of rando with a microscope that will know what is going on, blah, blah, blah. And the person is a doctor, like has a PhD, and is a very knowledgeable person in their field, and they work with pigments all the time. So it was a bit rude, to say the least. This community is good about not gatekeeping unless you say that red, yellow, and blue are the primary colors. Then there are some opinions. Oh my gosh, don't get us started on that. Do not get us started on that nightmare. Dudes can be Karens as well. That's a fair point. I wonder if there's a name for them. Like, they definitely can have the same behavior, but I don't know if we refer to them as Karens. Are they not? Oh god. No! Come on, Jen, I'm sure you know that. Like, the best primary colors are cyan, magenta, yellow. We get loud about red, yellow, blue versus cyan, magenta, yellow. Yeah. Best answer was the one, paints are not... Oh yeah, the Daniel Smith dude was super condescending. It was like, you know that paints are not 100% pigment? You know they have gum arabic in there? And everybody looked at him with a frown and was like, dude, we're not stupid, seriously. Like, we use watercolors, so we know at least a bit, you know? The thing with primary colors is you have primary colors in general, and they can be anything you want. But the most versatile primary colors are cyan, magenta, yellow. If you have cyan, magenta, yellow, and just that in your palette, you can mix like every color, or just about. If you have red, yellow, and blue, you cannot get a cyan and you cannot get a magenta. So that's already two main colors that you can't get. And your purples are going to be really, really muted. The same with the greens. The only color that might come off more vibrant is the oranges, because the red and the yellow, they might mix a bit better for the oranges. But the yellow and the blue, it's going to be more muted greens, and the red and the blue is going to be more muted purples. Well, if you have cyan, magenta, yellow, if you mix all three, you can get black. I think in the case of printers, they have an extra black cartridge because it would just be a nightmare to always mix the other three to get black. But technically, in paint, if you have just cyan, magenta, yellow, you can mix black. I think in terms of cyan, magenta, yellow, black versus RGB. Yeah, well, red, green, and blue, they're other primary colors. They're, you have the additive and the subtractive primary colors. And I know you work digitally more, so you're probably more familiar with red, green, and blue. But in paint, a lot of the, like the beginner content, or a lot of schools will try to teach people that the main three colors to use in paint are red, yellow, and blue, and that's just like not good. Oh my god, this is so not proportioned properly. This drawing is just awful in terms of matching the proportions of the original, but well, we'll try to make do. Oh, that's awesome, Tsukabu. Art is hard enough and don't need to make it harder on yourself. And to be like even more technical about the best colors for maximum versatility when painting, it's a split primary that's technically the most versatile, where you have red magenta, you have like a sort of slightly greenish yellow and slightly orange yellow, and then you have cyan and blue. So with these 6 colors you can really work at the best intensity of mixes possible. Is that a house that was used by ancient warriors? Probably. It's not awful. You're just filling out shapes to block in. Yeah, but that's the thing. It doesn't look like it's almost, it doesn't stretch out enough. But it's okay. It just like its goal in life is to not look like butt. So if I can make it not look like butt and not necessarily be exactly like the reference, but still not look like butt, it's good. It's good. Oh, sorry. Feeding time at the zoo. Sorry. Usually the redeeming grace of these studies is the fact that no one gets to see the original, like the reference picture. So no one can tell that it's like all borked up and disproportionate. Is it easy to find 0.2 mm LEDs for that pencil? It wasn't really difficult, but then again, I'm in North America. So, like, even my worst case scenario is to get them from Jet Pens, which is in the US. And I say worst case because the shipping is a bit high. Bleh. I only have some 20 tubes of schminke. They're nice, but I don't like how much they shift while drying. Isn't that something that happens with all watercolors anyway? Oh, I'm fed up with this one. I need a break. I'm gonna do a couple of color mixes with these. All right. This is the book with paper that was supposed to be for watercolor, but it's definitely not very good for it. It ghosts a lot, and even with paints, like I painted swatches, and you can sort of see them through, like on my other page. And it's weird with ink too, in the sense that the pens I use, all the strokes are bigger on this paper. That's a small Lucas palette. Smells like food. I agree, Dan. Lucas are really great paints and really affordable, and the big tubes are good. They don't have weird pigment mix in there, like their cobalt colors are cobalt pigments. And they have really nice colors, and they are quite underrated, I agree. Trying to figure out what kind of colors I can mix with this set for studies of like scenery and whatnot. It has this stupid phthalo green that is absolutely not my favorite color on its own. It's good in mixes, but you kind of have to figure out the mixes you can sort of get out of that color with each palette that has it in it. Yes. I like how you just go into the pans and make it all messy and look used. Yep, that's my that's kind of how I work. And if I need a clean pan, I just, clean it up. Sorry. Fortunately, where I live in Croatia, Lucas is not available. Oh, that's a bummer. But I mean, I'm sure you have access to other brands that are quite good, right? Oh, hold on. Sorry. Yeah, the thing with Lucas, I find, is that you can get like cobalt pigments at a really affordable price. And they have a couple of quite unique mixes in there too. Their Verona Green Earth, I think, is a really nice muted granulating green. Like it's like nothing to write home about, but at the same time they're kind of like reliable and also quite affordable, in the sense that you can get a rather large tube of, what is it? Is it like, how many mLs is it in the Lucas tubes? Oh, 24 ml. Yeah, that's super generous. Wait, what? Oh, oh. Lives it? There's the non-native. Hey, Chablis, bonjour. We have a visitor. Non-native English speaker said, what better? Oh, I'm glad you can order from Arte Miranda, Katarina. That's really cool. It's a really, really nice shop. They have great deals, great supplies. Ah, bye, Chablis. Cat friend left. Oh, this color is nice. I'm bummed I just with it though, so I can check what it is. What are you? Yeah. You are olive green. Okay. Fair enough. That's so nice. It's a really nice olive green. Good job, Lucas. I don't know if I can pull off the mix that kind of often confuses people and makes me laugh. I would need a clean space for it though. Oh, not that much, mind you. This one will work. Okay, so kind of like a magic trick. Take this bright green, which is probably phthalo green. So bright green. And let's brush more and get the magenta. So, super bright pink. What do you think I get when I mix these two? I get a blue! Ta-da! I like it so much. Yeah, the olive green is so lovely, isn't it? Like, whoa, that's a supernatural looking color. Yeah, pretty what the fuck, isn't it? I love it. It's my favorite paint magic trick. Also works with green and purple, kind of. So the why it does that is really interesting. So if you think of this green and this magenta in terms of cyan, magenta, and yellow, okay. So every color is a mix of those three. Our magenta is pure magenta, so we have magenta. And our green here is mostly cyan with yellow. Okay, but not that much yellow in it. Kind of. Am I doing this right, or am I cold brain adult? But anyway, ultimately what you end up getting is this cyan. When you mix it with the magenta, it becomes more blue than anything. So you kind of have a lot of blue purple going on. And then you have a teeny tiny bit of the yellow, which helps bring the color to an even darker hue. So that's kind of why you end up with this blue by mixing these two, is that the main colors you end up in the mix is cyan and magenta. And technically cyan and magenta, they can mix you a blue. And since all you have is three colors, like if you put them in a circle, you have your cyan, your magenta, and yellow. If you have a mix of those two, so somewhere in here, the opposite color is the yellow. So if you had the yellow in it, it's going to bring the color darker, like closer to a black. So that's why it's make kind of a dark blue. Does that make sense? Am I doing this right? I don't know if that made sense, but that's kind of my favorite part of playing with the colors is when you mix two things and you're like, whoa, did not expect that, and then figuring out why it did that weird thing. So yeah, the green and pink that mixes a kind of purple blue is my favorite bit of it. Trying to get the transition colors. Yeah, you can get it a bit more purpley if you add more magenta in it. I don't know if I'm on camera with this. I'm speaking logic. Is it too much logic? Oh, I'm a bit off screen, I'm sorry. Is this color theory? Yeah, this is kind of not color theory per se, because it doesn't tell you really how to create palettes of colors that work together, but it's kind of a way to explain mixing colors in paint. And it's useful to be able to work that out if you work with traditional media, because you're gonna end up mixing paint. And sometimes you have a really specific color in mind and you need to try to get to it. So being able to work behind the scenes on how the color happens, it's helpful, but yeah. Sorry. I've said this before, but still amazes me. I mix magenta and phthalo green and get bluey purple. I totally understand which color complement, etc. to make it happen, but my child brain is always... Exactly, it's always magical. Like, a thing that really helps me figure out colors is to always start from the fact that almost every color can be made from just 3. So those 3 are your only parameters in a color. So if you mix I'm gonna need a mixing palette for that though. I don't have one handy. Okay, so if you have like magenta, yellow, and that cyan here. So if everything is made with those 3, you don't need any other color to mix anything you want. So it might be a bit weird just like that, but it's I'm mixing a grain, so I'm gonna mix the cyan. Try to find a clean corner. This cyan though is not very strong, it's a bit weak, meaning that I can't get the color super dark and intense. It's not very phthalo bluey. But let's say I'm getting this color and I'm like, oh, this is a green, but I want it to be darker. Well, how do you make it darker? The only way you can make it darker is by adding the color you haven't put in it yet. Because you've already mixed these 2, and this is what you ended up, but it's not what you need. So you kind of go to the magenta and add a bit in there, and I added way too much, so it's like bright magenta. But yeah, I did a series of video on it that basically showed that any color you're trying to mix, if you sort of can't get it just by mixing 2 colors of the primary triad, well, all you need to do is add the 3rd color in it, and that's gonna bring it closer to black, so it should make it darker. A bit like this here. I think this one is a good example of something similar to this but darker. This one is a bit too blue, but this one is a bit closer to it, and if I added a tinge more magenta, I would bring it like closer to gray, because ultimately I'm getting closer to black. So that's kind of all you need is these 3 colors, and you can mix anything you want. Though ideally the best 3 colors would be having a stronger blue here, and maybe a yellow that's a bit stronger too. Yeah, cobalt, any cobalt teal with any other color is lovely. Color mixing with me, yeah. I love it so much. That was my favorite part of doing the little tutorial videos I made about mixing with cyan, magenta, yellow, is trying to explain to the best of my ability that if all you have is these 3 colors, you don't need other colors to get anything you want in your mind. All you have to do is figure out the proportions. Anyway, so do you guys have any questions before I finish today's stream? I'm getting sweaty. Maybe a way to explain it would be like if you get to black, which is the mix of these 3. So basically your black, if you were to separate it, you would have like, I don't know exactly the ratios just like that, but let's pretend it's something like this. So you would have some yellow, some magenta, and some cyan. So basically if you want something that is more green, you add more of the cyan and yellow, so less of the magenta, but this will give you more of a dark green. If that maybe makes sense. I don't know, maybe nothing makes sense. Alright. Sorry. Anyway, colors are cool. Coolers. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching today, and bon Dieu, c'est quoi ça, cette face-là? Quoi?
Couleurs.
Couleurs. Oh no, I've been shamed by my stupid play on words. I was looked at with a very stern face. Burnt sienna with a deep blue makes a lovely black, and that works out because burnt sienna is basically orange but darker, so it's orange is magenta and yellow. So you have magenta and yellow with already some cyan in it to make it into a brown color. And the blue you use is basically a lot of cyan with a bit of yellow. So all in all, when you compile all these things, the magenta, yellow, cyan of the brown, and the cyan and yellow, oh no, cyan and magenta, sorry, of the blue, they all even out and neutralize each other. Magic! Oui! Okay. That's what you... Y'en a qui ont ri de ma joke pas drôle, ok? I got a thumbs up of approval. Alright guys, thank you so much for being here today. Oh, that's awesome, Cyan. Yay! We already have a cyan. Yeah, we need a magenta and a yellow in chat. Alright guys, have a great week and weekend, and we will see each other next Saturday. And yeah, hopefully we won't sweat too much during the week. I hope you guys have decent weather, and yeah. So Discord in the link in the Discord link in the description below. I can speak. And see you next time. Bye.